CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Mekovic.
Right now on the afternoon edition, the government shutdown stretching into a record 42nd day on this Veterans Day, but there is hope for progress on a compromise deal soon. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. That measure cleared the Senate late yesterday, and the House of Representatives could vote as early as tomorrow on the deal to reopen the government. House members are on notice to return to Washington amid the nationwide travel delays.
You need to begin right now returning to the Hill. We have to do this as quickly as possible.
Right now, we're focused on dealing with the bill that's coming over from the Senate to the House, and we're going to fight hard to defeat it.
But with President Trump's backing, the measure is expected to get the House GOP support it needs to pass. The Senate's compromise package funds the government through January 30th, extends funding for SNAP or food assistant benefits for a full year, and reinstates federal workers who were laid off during the shutdown. 8 members of the Democratic caucus backed the measure, saying the pain of the shutdown was getting to be too much. But the deal does not include an extension of the Affordable Care Act tax credits that Democrats had been fighting for.
A lot of people, not just Democrats, Republicans are going to be hit harder with these doubling of premiums actually than people in Democratic states. So this is a disaster all across the board, and people are bitterly disappointed.
Republicans have a 2-seat majority in the House, leaving very little room for dissent within their own party in order to pass that bill in that chamber. Until the shutdown is officially over, travel delays will likely get worse. Today, 6% of the nation's flights at 40 busy airports will be cut. San Francisco International is seeing 56 cancellations and 20 delays so far today. Oakland Airport has about a dozen cancellations and 6 delays. Those numbers are just going up incrementally until we potentially reach the 10% landmark on Friday. Planes are lined up at many airports across the country right now with no way to get out because of staffing issues in air traffic control. Airlines say since the shutdown began, the issues have disrupted the trips of 5.2 million people. And today, controllers will miss their second full paycheck. Airlines, again, are going to cut flights on Thursday and Friday to hit that 10% number mandated by the FAA. Justices on the U.S. Supreme Court expected to rule today on the Trump administration's request to halt full federal funding for SNAP benefits while the government is shut down. Lower courts ruled the administration must pay full benefits, but the administration is fighting that. In the meantime, we invite you to help your neighbors in need through our annual Food for Bay Area Families program. For more information on how you can donate to local food banks or become a volunteer, just scan the QR code on your screen. You can also head to kpix.com/give. All right, our first alert weather now. Lovely day around the Bay Area. Live look from our Mount Diablo camera, and one more mild day before our skies change. Here's meteorologist Jessica Birch.
Well, it's another great day to get out there and get some fresh air here in the Bay Area. We're gearing up for some 70s off into our inland spots, where just yesterday we were in the 80s. Now over to the city of San Francisco. Yesterday was a very warm day too. We were in the upper 70s. Today we dropped about 10 degrees. It'll feel a lot cooler as we gear up for the next 24 hours as a cold front actually starts pushing in from offshore. First, it brings in some cooler weather, then some rain and some gusty conditions too. And those showers start to get heavier as we head into our early Tuesday or Thursday morning forecast. So I'm going to show you that in just a second. But another thing to talk about too is that storm pushes through. It could give us anywhere up to around a half an inch of rain all the way down into the Santa Clara Valley. Zoom into these North Bay numbers. It'll be pretty impressive for our friends up into Napa and Vallejo too. About a quarter of an inch of rain there. So we're monitoring this closely as we head into the next 24 to 48 hours. I'm going to have more on this coming up in just a bit. For now, back.
All right, live look right now at San Jose's 107th Annual Veterans Day Parade about to get underway. They are lined up there right now, ready to march. Organizers say it is the largest Veterans Day Parade in Northern California. Starts at Almaden Boulevard and Santa Clara Street in downtown San Jose, ending at San Carlos and Market Streets. A missing Purple Heart has been found and will now have a place of honor at Sacred Heart Cathedral High School in San Francisco. Jerry Mahoney graduated from Sacred Heart in 1944 and went off to serve in World War II. He was on the SS Henry B. Plant when it was sunk by a German submarine in 1945. Starting in 1947, Sacred Heart and St. Ignatius College Prep have played the Bruce Mahoney Games. They honor Mahoney and Bill Bruce, a St. Ignatius grad, who also died in World War II. Mahoney's family said it only made sense for the medal to be at their school.
I thought the most permanent place, the real community for Jerry, has been Sacred Heart High School. They've honored him since 1945, and that's the place to go.
This year, the Bruce Mahoney basketball game was played at Chase Center. There is still time to go to a Veterans Day event if you have the occasion today. The event at the USS Hornet happening now with the flyover at 12:30. Petaluma's Veterans Day parade starts at 1 p.m. And tonight, local veterans will light the beacon on top of Mount Diablo at sunset to honor those who have served.
Today, to every veteran, we love our veterans. We say the words too often left unsaid. Thank you for your service. Thank you very much.
President Trump and Vice President Vance participated in a wreath-laying ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier at Arlington National Cemetery, one of many cemeteries across the country to honor those who have served. A reminder, government offices, post offices, and courts are closed today. Stock markets keep trading, but bond markets and banks are taking the day off. Major retailers like Walmart and Target are open and, by the way, offering plenty of sales this Veterans Day. Still ahead here at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area. Wild ride for passengers when a Muni driver falls asleep at the wheel. What the agency is saying about this newly released video. And meet a Marine Corps vet at Stanford who is sharing his journey to inspire others. Now, the Justice Department now says it will investigate security at a Turning Point USA event that drew protests at UC Berkeley last night. About 900 people attended the event on campus. It was the first Turning Point event in California since the death of the group's founder, Charlie Kirk. Cal officials say 2 people were arrested for fighting outside the event, and 2 others were arrested by campus police. New information and new video of a frightening Muni train ride back in September. SFMTA is now finally confirming a train operator did fall asleep at the controls. Check it out. The operator nodding off as the train moved 50 miles per hour, exiting the Sunset Tunnel near DuBose Park. That caused a jostle that woke up the operator as people on the train started to react. Yeah, it's a view from inside one of the passenger cars as the train came to a sudden stop. Some passengers tossed to the ground, others falling on top of each other. The operator then came out and apologized to passengers. SFMTA blames operator fatigue and says that operator is now on non-driving status. In the South Bay, ROTC cadets at Santa Clara University are kicking off Veterans Day events to honor people who served. Our Veronica Macias is there.
On this Veterans Day, while people are home relaxing, these ROTC cadets here at Santa Clara University going out for a ruck march, showing their grit, their endurance, and heart here, showing gratitude and respect for veterans. After a 5-mile ruck march from campus to the Santa Clara Veterans Memorial with 25 pounds on their backs, these cadets returning to a wreath-laying ceremony. Remarks were given by retired Admiral James O. Ellis Jr. from the Hoover Institution, who reminded them that only 1% of Americans are active duty and a total of 6% deciding to serve their country within the armed forces. Today, a celebration to honor veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice. This day, a celebration for their service. Some of the cadets say they have family members who have served in past generations, and it is a privilege for them to be here.
I think there's a lot of freedoms that come with this country that we're so very grateful for, that I personally signed up to defend. I think it's important that people connect to something bigger than themselves in whichever form that is, and I strongly recommend the military to do that. It provides a community and is able to provide purpose to people's lives, and I think that's something that's really missing in today's environment.
The Bronco Battalion cadets were led by Colonel Van Bargen, who says, "We're looking at the next generation of service members and this morning's training dedicated to those who have gone before them."
On this Veterans Day, we see and salute heroes who served, including a San Jose Marine Corps veteran turning to a nonprofit organization to help him transition into civilian life and pursue higher education. Now, as a fourth-year grad student at Stanford, he hopes his story can inspire other vets to find their passion. He shares his journey with our Suji Nam.
When Oscar Muir strolls through Stanford University, he remembers the long journey of getting to where he is today.
Deployed to Afghanistan in 2009 with the infantry, and I was also part of the humanitarian mission in 2011 when Japan was hit by that enormous tsunami.
Muir enlisted as a Marine and was deployed to the Middle East when he was 19 years old. But once he left the military,
I felt lost, isolated. I suffered through depression, PTSD.
He was unsure what to do next.
It was very difficult for me at the time to really know how to ask for help or where to get help.
But then he discovered the Warrior Scholar Project, an East Coast-based nonprofit that helps enlisted service members and veterans pursue higher education. Muir went to boot camp at Yale and never gave up on his dream of attending Stanford University.
I was denied twice before being accepted the third time.
As a fourth-year grad student, he studies neuroscience, motivated by the goal of helping current veterans.
It's like, can we change the neural wiring in the brain to alleviate some of these symptoms?
And those who will one day serve.
The future goal would be, then can we do this for other psychiatric illnesses such as depression, PTSD, and utilize these methods to really help the veteran community.
Muir's story inspired Stanford professor Benjamin Lev.
A lot of fundamental science research is funded through the DoD. My PhD was, and at this point in my career, I felt that I had the time and the inclination to give back.
His father had served in the Air Force, and in wanting to give back, Lev launched a Warrior Scholar Project chapter at Stanford last year.
We spend a week in a boot camp where we teach them how to become students at the college level, how to take notes in a lecture, how to ask questions of a professor, how to do problem sets.
It's programs like these that motivated Muir.
Don't give up, maintain that hope, and you did incredible things in the military, and you could do incredible things outside the military.
And he hopes that his story can inspire other veterans to keep going.
The Warrior Scholar Project Bootcamp is free to people who are now enlisted, service members, and veterans. The next session at Stanford will be held in the summer of 2026. Back to our first alert weather, taking another live look outside at the Golden Gate Bridge. Some low clouds and fog, but plenty of sunshine. Let's check back in with meteorologist Jessica Birch.
Well, once again, it's another beautiful day for us here in the Bay Area, but we're going to start noticing some more clouds rolling in late tonight, showers tomorrow afternoon, and then suddenly heavy storms as we head all the way into our Thursday forecast, pushing in from offshore. This atmospheric river is going to bring in a series of showers for us here in the Bay, gusty winds and some really cool weather right around the corner. So let's start off a little bit closer to home. I want to start off with what we can expect as we head into the afternoon hours today. Now, we're already noticing some changes. Yesterday, we were in the 80s off into the East Bay. Now we're in the low 70s in places like Antioch, all the way over into Fremont. 60s into San Francisco. Yesterday was well above average, but it already feels a lot different for us as we head outside today. Timing the storm out, light showers form Wednesday afternoon, heavier showers into the overnight hours Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, and then those rainfall totals can add anywhere up to around a half an inch of rain all the way down in the South Bay. As we zoom into those numbers there, it's going to be impressive for our friends into San Jose, all the way over into places like Livermore too. And then the more north you go, we're expecting closer to around 1/4 of an inch from that exact same system. So that's what we're keeping a close eye on. And just to time this out a little bit more, don't worry about tomorrow afternoon necessarily. This is just around Wednesday at lunchtime, mostly cloudy skies. It's not really until those evening hours tomorrow night where we start to see some light showers trickling in. This is around 7 o'clock. Many of us at home at that point. Now, early Thursday morning, that's going to look a lot different. Some of those more severe storms push in as early as 5 a.m., especially for our friends down in the South Bay. Now, this atmospheric river tilts in from the south. That's the reason why we're seeing more impressive rainfall totals down there, maybe compared to some of us all the way up into the North Bay. But still, all of us are getting splashed as that system system continues to track off to the east, bringing in some snow for our friends over into the Sierra too. So lots of changes within the next 48 hours, and that's what we're keeping a close eye on. Yesterday we were in the 80s, today the 70s, tomorrow the 60s for our friends in the Bay, and it's going to feel a lot cooler as we wrap up this week, heading into this weekend once that cold front sweeps through. Now, of course, we do start to dry up as we head into our Friday and Saturday forecast with some sunnier skies on tap for us as early as Saturday, but don't get too comfortable with that because as early as Sunday, we have some evening showers rolling in once again. That's going to keep us nice and cool as we head into early next week. For now, back to you.
Still ahead in our Red and Gold report, who a 49er veteran says needs to step up to bounce back from that tough loss on Sunday.
Blackout during these things. Also talk to...
Another live look now in San Jose as the annual Veterans Day Parade gets underway. This parade has been going on for more than 100 years. Organizers say it is the largest Veterans Day Parade in Northern California. These vehicles, people are going to make their way through parts of downtown San Jose. Love it. The Rams were able to score 42 points in Sunday's win over the 49ers. It was painful, but one Niners star put the blame on the team's offense. Vern Glenn has more in today's Red and Gold report.
This is the Audi Red and Gold report.
The 49ers fell to 6-4 with Sunday's loss to the rival Rams. San Francisco has yet to win consecutive games since starting the season 3-0.
We just got to respond better after wins. I think that's what we're learning. Feel like we get too relaxed a little bit. You know, after we win, you kind of smell your own junk a little bit, so it's tough. We can't really be like that.
Hey, look at this. Matthew Stafford and the Rams danced all over the Niners in their 42-26 win at Levi's Stadium. LA jumped out to a 21-0 lead against an injury-depleted San Francisco defense. Tight end George Kittle says the offense needs to step up to help out their defense.
Our team is going to have to rely on our really good veteran offense to score a lot of points and not turn the ball over, and we didn't really do that today. And so I think that's going to be the case moving forward. But we have to help out our defense. And that's the way the season's going to go. Our offense has to play at a high level, efficient, not turn the ball over, score points, score in the red zone, and then we'll win a lot of games. But if we're not doing that, that's going to happen.
With the Red and Gold report, I'm Vern Glenn.
Well, coming up, definitely not your typical roadblock where the sea lion surprised some drivers. So this is probably not what drivers in Washington State expected to see on the roadway on a rainy day. A sea lion. The animal was hanging out in the middle of one of the lanes, just chilling out, enjoying the rain. Police warned drivers to be careful for a, quote, large friend in the middle of this rural road. Not too far, there was a river that was under a coastal flood warning at the time. Fish and Wildlife were able to usher the sea lion back to the river. That is it for the afternoon edition on this Veterans Day. Remember, we are streaming 24/7 on the free CBS News app. Just go to Live and then choose Bay Area.